Hello and welcome to Fight News Now Extra. My name is John Pollock. We have all of the latest news happening in mixed martial arts, and then welcoming in John Ramdine and Robin Black to chat about the status of Khabib Nurmagomedov heading into UFC 187. The newest member of the UFC's strawweight division gets her first fight, and Josh Barnett isn't returning anytime soon. A knee injury to lightweight Khabib Nurmagomedov is putting his fight with Donald Cerrone at UFC 187 into jeopardy. MMA Junkie was the first to report the news and indicated that Nurmagomedov is off the card. However, Dave Meltzer at MMAfighting.com is reporting that Nurmagomedov was scheduled to have his knee examined on Thursday before a final decision was made regarding his status for the show. The card underwent a major change this past week, with Jon Jones suspended indefinitely and Daniel Cormier taking his spot to fight Anthony Johnson for the now vacant light heavyweight title. The UFC has announced that Michelle Waterson will have her first fight in the UFC on Sunday, July the 12th at the TUF 21 finale against Angela Magana. The card will take place in Florida at the conclusion of the current TUF season, but a specific city and venue have yet to be announced for the card, which takes place the night after UFC 189 over International Fight Week. And it was announced on UFC Tonight by Ariel Helwani that heavyweight Josh Barnett has accepted a movie role, and that will prohibit the former champion from training anytime soon and making a return to the octagon. Barnett has not fought for the UFC since December of 2013, where he was stopped by Travis Browne at UFC 168. This coming Friday, we are presenting the live weigh-ins for Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. You don't have to pay to see these weigh-ins. They're happening Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, live here on Fight Network. And we're with John Ramdine and Robin Black, and boy, UFC 187, they're really testing people here. Jon Jones is gone, but they got Daniel Cormier, and now Khabib Nurmagomedov, not completely writing him off at this point. He was supposed to get his knee examined on Thursday, but certainly there is a strong possibility that the Eagle is going to be flying away from Las Vegas.
Holy smokes. The good thing about this card, though, is, you know, with Jon Jones off the card, they have an outstanding replacement fight with Daniel Cormier taking on AJ for the light heavyweight championship, and that's why it's important to have the card stacked. And I think if you look at the undercard of this show, that it can support even if the Eagle is off the card, but I have a feeling the UFC is going to do their best to give Donald Cowboy Cerrone an opponent. And I don't think it really matters what type of opponent you give him, as long as it's a fighter that's going to throw down.
For sure, and Cerrone is not going to accept not being on it. It's like, hey, yo, Dana, yeah, I need a fight. Someone.
You want me to fight an actual eagle? Okay.
Yeah, exactly, a bear or whatever. Donald Cerrone wants to fight, for sure, and they'll find him somebody. Josh Thompson and Gamebred Masvidal. I like Masvidal versus awesome. Cowboy Cerrone. I mean, if he's saying he can do it, you know Cerrone's like, I'm down with Jorge Masvidal, I'll fight. We're down with a Jorge Masvidal fight. Listen, Khabib the Eagle is a fascinating fighter. We've been waiting to see him fight. You know, he's a little rude about old Anthony getting injured all the time. What did he, Anthony Pettis? Karma's a bit of a bitch. But it sucks for us, too, because that was a fight we really wanted to see. But Jorge Masvidal, Cowboy Cerrone, yeah, that would be cool.
As you look at kind of how everything has shaped up, we've had a few days to kind of look at how they've handled everything with Jon Jones. The more I look at it, it was like, could you imagine had they made the decision that we're just going to kind of go ahead with this, like the chaos that would have been surrounding Fight Week? I think that the UFC, even if this hurts the pay-per-view a bit, taking Jon Jones off, I think in the long term, this sends a much better message that, you know, even our biggest star is not without consequence when he screws up in such a fashion as he has. I can't imagine if they had gone ahead now with the Jones and Johnson fight, whereas earlier this week, I think most people, when they saw he had no travel restrictions, assumed the fight probably would have taken place.
Yeah, and I'm sure the UFC kind of weighed their options. I'm sure they had conversations with many different people within the organization. I'm sure
Reebok.
Exactly,
yeah.
Reebok was a factor. I'm sure Fox was a factor. I think there were so many issues. I think that was a factor when it came to dealing with Jon Jones, as well as the response from the media and the fans. Everybody was on the same page. Unless you're a Jon Jones supporter or family member, everybody felt that the best thing to do was to strip him of the title and suspend him, and then re-examine this in the future.
Do both of you like the idea of stripping the title? There's some that have argued against it.
No.
The fact that whoever does win this, Jon Jones is still going to... Listen, the fact is, Jon Jones coming back, his first fight back is going to be for that title.
Sure.
So, you know what? If he is the best light heavyweight in the world, he's going to fight the guy holding his title.
You know what's interesting? 2 or 3 people over the last 24 hours who are kind of fringe consumers of fighting. Big Steve, who's over at the gym, my strength and conditioning gym I go to, and a couple people were like, so is this the last we've seen of John Jones? These are not people immersed in it who are thinking, oh, well, when he comes back, he'll fight for this. These are just people who have been exposed to people who have large screw-ups in life, seem to have some type of addiction issues, et cetera, who are like, well, every time we've seen something like this, people disappear for a long time. Pro athletes, if they stop training, the feeling outside of our bubble is, well, maybe you'll never see this guy again. That would be really sad for him and sad for the sport.
But you can understand why. You mentioned it. Professional athletes, rock stars, whatever it may be, you're busted for cocaine. You have cocaine in your system. You're in a motor vehicle accident involving a pregnant woman. Your employer basically fires you.
You lose all your endorsements, etc.
So you can understand how the big perspective would be that, yeah, okay, this would be it for most people, especially if you're an athlete.
For sure. That's what the average person just watching from the outside is thinking. And, you know, is it possible this guy goes, man, this was it. I can't believe I'm almost losing everything. That's it. All the wrong people around me are gone. I'm going to stick with the right people that give me the right advice, learn the steps I need to learn to make adjustments in my life, and you're never going to see someone who has trained harder. This will be the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Is that possible? It is possible. But have we seen any evidence in him over the last couple of years that that's likely?
But this might be that thing. This because
of
all the circumstances
really
surrounding the situation. You would hope that this would be the wall and that John Jones starts to get his life in order because, you know, everything's come to a head all at once. You lose the title, you lose money for your family in Reeboks, the respect of your peers and so on and so forth. And the public. I think
that's
this
before
is
he's even dealt with the legal side of all this. I mean, monetarily, this guy has certainly paid a price for this, and it's warranted, I feel.
Sure, but the legal fees are going to mount moving forward.
Yeah, you just hope. I mean, he's a guy. He's a person. He's a person with a wife and kids. You really hope that it does go that way. And selfishly, I mean, he's the best fighter in the world. I really want to see him fight again.
Yeah, you hope that this guy, this is rock bottom for him, and this is the turning point for him. You hope. But, you know, we thought a few months ago we hoped that would be the case. For Robin Black, he is John Ramdy, and I'm John Pollock. Stay tuned for more of Fight News Now Extra.
That's GSP, former UFC welterweight champion. And that's me. And for 1 week, I got to live like a champion. And it all started with a phone call on the Bud Light living line.
Hey buddy, it's Dana White from the UFC. How'd you like to come to UFC 186 in Montreal?
Hey, Tommy.
Dana, man. What's up, Tommy?
Nice to meet you.
Here's your belt. You are the Bud Light living champion.
They give you a free Bud Light?
Send me a copy.
Hey guys, welcome to the TriStar Gym. If you're carrying the belt, you gotta train like a champion.
Whatever you do, please don't move.
Congratulations, Tommy. I hope there's no money, no belt on the line, because I swear to God I'd come take that too.
Hey, turn it down.
What are you guys doing in here? You want to make some noise?
Yes.
Let's go. It's time for Hot Wings! Tommy, this is round 5. You have no time to stop. Get it down, get it down. It's time to start Bud Light Living!
And this was just the beginning.
Check this